Okay guys, good morning. Today we are going to start talking about our three civilizations in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, the Aztecs, the Maya, and the Inca civilizations. Okay, so for your notes, you're just going to kind of get a brief overview of these three places, and then after lunch, when we all come together, we'll have an opportunity to talk about this, do a reading, and kind of put all of the pieces together. After you're done watching this video and taking your notes, click on the link in the comments to take you to Quizlet to start practicing some of these terms and kind of to get very familiar with these places. Okay? So, our three early American empires, Aztec, Maya, Inca. All right, so for the first time all year, we are now in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, so we are totally leaving Africa, Europe, and Asia behind, going across the Atlantic Ocean, and we're going to end up in Mesoamerica and South America. All right, we're going to start off with the Maya. Let's get this out of your way here. Oh, hang on. All right, so the Maya geography is going to be located on the Yucatan Peninsula in southern Mexico. Okay, you're going to remember this because there's a Y in Maya just like there is a Y in Yucatan. Okay, now some of you in here might be very familiar with this region or this peninsula. Okay, let's take a look at some modern borders. So we have Guatemala, we've got Honduras, right? We've got southern parts of Mexico, we've got El Salvador right here. Okay, so some of you may even have been to this part of the world before in this class. Okay, and when you go to this part of the world, it's going to be very, very hot, and it's going to be very, very humid. It's going to be very wet. It's kind of that heat where it makes it hard to breathe, okay, because there's a rainforest in some of these areas. Okay, so we're going to be focused on the Yucatan Peninsula right here. It's very easy to spot because it just kind of sticks right out, and we know our definition of a peninsula is a landmass bordered on three sides by water. So it's very easy to spot. So Maya goes with Yucatan. Like I said, the Mayan cities were often built in rainforests. Okay, so the geography of these places often built in rainforests, and there are some problems with that. It's good to have a lot of rain, but sometimes that makes building very difficult. They were very advanced. Okay, they came up with a lot of building techniques and inventions, and they were very in tune with astronomy and the planets and the stars. Okay, so they were very, very advanced. The best known Mayan city is called Chichen Itza. Okay, and then this structure right here is El Castillo. I know you like that Spanish. Some more architecture. Now, what's missing from this picture is that they just didn't have pillars sticking up here, right? They would have been thatched with sticks and mud and plants and leaves to make a roof right along here, right along here. But obviously those go away much quicker than a stone structure. So the Mayas are significant especially because they had the only fully developed written language in the Americas. Make sure this is in your notes. Now, if you look at the writing, they are glyphs or like pictograms. It's not an alphabet, but they were the only ones out of the Maya, the Inca, and the Aztecs that were writing things down. The Mayans also developed an advanced calendar. that the calendar that they used is off by half a day from the calendar that we use. And again, no computers, no telescopes, no calculators. They were very observant of the solar system and with the crop cycles, and they were able to put together this calendar. For religion, the Mayas are polytheistic. They may have practiced human sacrifice. So again, when maybe it wouldn't rain or it would rain too much, we need to pray to one of the gods. Here's somebody to sacrifice to please the gods. Okay? When they traded specialized goods like cocoa, salt, seashells, jade, and obsidian. Okay? The one word we might not know on here, words, would be jade. That's a green stone. And obsidian is a dark purple black stone. And obsidian is very, very sharp. Okay, so they would use weapons, use obsidian to make weapons. Okay. And the other thing about the Maya that I want to point out is that they don't have a capital city. So Chichen Itza is the largest city, but it's not the capital city. So you need to think of the Maya like you would the Greek city-states, where they're going to have similar culture, language, writing, religion, but they are not united. They are not unified. All right, let's go on to the Aztecs. So I just talked about obsidian in the last slide and how sharp it is. You can see this weapon here is lined with razor sharp obsidian. So this guy can swing this thing around and really cause some damage. Let's get this out of the way again. Okay, so the Aztecs are located in an arid area in Central America. And if you have forgotten, excuse me, I said Central America, I meant Central Mexico. If you have forgotten what this word arid means, it means dry, okay, like a desert. So even though, Chichen Itza is right here, and the Aztecs are going to get started right here, not that far away from each other, the climate is so different because it's very hot and wet here on the Yucatan Peninsula, but it's very hot and dry here in central Mexico. So the capital city of Tenochtitlan, if I said that wrong, forgive me, was built in actually the middle of a lake. Okay, and the story behind this is if you can think of what is on the Mexican flag. There's a snake, a bird, right? The snake's in the bird's mouth. And the story is the people that settled this area were told that when they saw this vision of a snake in a bird's mouth, that is where they should settle. And they saw this in the middle of this lake, and they were able to find a way to kind of make a city in the middle of the lake. And I'll show you a video here after lunch, and you'll see what I mean. So you can see in this city, right, it's beautiful, it's colorful, they have tons of wonderful architecture. And you also notice that they use canals. Like, instead of roads, they had river roads. And instead of cars or horses, they have canoes to get everywhere. It's amazing. At one point, this city was the largest city in the world. The Spanish, when they first came upon this city, were amazed. So the rulers were emperors, and they were expected to lead in battle. Montezuma is maybe a name that you may have heard. Okay, so there's one strong central power for the government. They were polytheistic, and the sun god was a major god. They built pyramids for worship. And what you're seeing here is somebody is being led through the town. They're going to go to the top of the pyramid, and then human sacrifice. And the way that the Aztecs did it is that they would capture the enemies, they would hold them down, they would cut in their stomachs, and then a priest would reach in their stomachs, rip out the heart, put the heart in a bowl, and toss the body down the side of the pyramid. Just let that sink in for a minute. So they were able to farm in this region, and crops were grown on these man-made islands. And then finally we're going to get into the Incan Empire. So we're going to switch, and we're going into South America. Now this sounds ridiculous, but please don't mix up what South America looked like and what Africa looks like. So the Incans are in South America, in the Andes Mountains range, where Peru, Argentina, Ecuador, and Chile are today. But we're going to be focused right in this region here, where Peru is today. So the emperor is also a god. Here's an image of the capital city, but we're not going to focus on the capital city. Instead, we're going to focus on Machu Picchu. This was a very important city of the empire, and one that they built on the top of a mountain in the Andes mountain range. What you're seeing here is how they were able to farm on this mountain. So you need to have food. So what they would do is they would literally carve these steps into the side of the mountain so that it had a flat surface to plant their food on. The Incas were also amazing engineers, and they had a huge systems of roads and bridges for traveling between the mountains. So you must know that the Incas had amazing roads. So just like the Persians had amazing roads, just like the Romans had amazing roads, the Incas had amazing roads. You must know that. The Incans built these terraces, like I said, for farming maize in the steep mountains. It's amazing that they were able to do this. That was a joke. Was it corny? And they even did brain surgery. Okay, so these were very advanced people. All right, so make sure that you have on your notes all of the contributions, locations for all of these people. The religion, they were also polytheistic. The sun god is also a major god, and they also practice human sacrifice. Like I said, we have 10,000 miles of roads and highway, and they're going to get taken over by the Spanish, and they're going to have access to the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, and they're going to be able to travel all throughout here. They were mining copper, tin, gold, and stone. They were also in tune with astronomy, and they were also amazing engineers. They were able to build things. Okay, so when we come back from lunch, I'll leave it on this slide. When we come back from lunch, we're going to talk about some of these things. So be ready. Make sure you can organize them all in your minds.